Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode of What's the Chika?
We are back in the
We
studio.
are in our home studio.
I know. It's so nice, isn't it? I missed being here.
Same. And the lighting.
Yeah, the lighting is
Garang.
Like everyone knows about the Philippines now.
What does it mean to be Filipino-British?
British Filipinos, fresh Filipinos.
Oh my god, yeah.
The Fobs, I was
Yeah.
aware that we have to have those two different identities.
3, 2, 1. Action.
Just have like open chats that are just like naked.
My name is Jem.
I'm Amir.
Today, we will be deep diving into topics that matter and challenge the status quo. Today, we are tackling an issue that resonates with many, body shaming and beauty standards in the Filipino world. In the Philippines, like in many cultures, there is a long-standing idea of what is considered beautiful, and unfortunately, it often leads to harmful pressures on individuals to fit a certain mold. From the media to social circles, beauty ideals can shape the way we view ourselves and others, sometimes making us feel less than enough. But we are not here to just talk about the challenges. We will explore the impact of body shaming, how beauty standards are shaped by culture, and most importantly, how we can start breaking these harmful cycles for a healthier, more inclusive world. So whether you've ever struggled with body image or simply want to understand the issue better, this episode is for you.
Period.
Let's go. Hire me.
That was a good intro. Oh, body shaming.
So what are we starting off with?
Body shaming. I mean, sorry, beauty standards. I said body shaming straight away.
What are we doing? Are we doing the polls?
Yes. So we're doing polls. We sent a poll out, or a couple of 4 polls out for you guys to answer, and we've got your answers. Should we? I'll start with the first one.
Yes.
Which covers colourism, basically. The poll says, be honest, growing up, did you ever wish you had lighter skin because you thought it was mass attractive, or more attractive? 45% said yes, 50% said not at all, and then 5% said I didn't realise it, but yes.
What would you guys answer to that?
I answered.
Same.
I said not at all.
I said yes.
What was the answers again?
So 45% said yes,
Yeah.
50% said no, and then 5% said I didn't realise it, but yes.
Oh, I think I did the. Oh my god, we're all different. I didn't realise it, but yeah.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So
Yeah.
let's deep dive into why we answered that way.
I think for me, I answered yes because of, I guess, growing up also in the Philippines or spending 3 years there was a lot of comments and just being surrounded by whitening products. So it was normalized to actually try to lighten your skin. Like
Yeah,
cousins
for
would
sure.
use papaya soap and whatsoever.
Yeah.
So for you, being around and surrounded by the standard of lightness being beautiful, it made me feel like the darker I was, or the more I spent under the sun, the more I was unattractive. Even in schools, that was normalized. So that's why I felt like, yes.
Right. So it was like, don't go out in the sun, baka umitim ka.
Exactly.
Yung
Or
ganun.
use umbrella, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
ano nangyari sa neck mo? Bakit ang itim? Parang, yung mga ganon.
Oh my gosh.
How about you, Babs?
I put no, not at all. And I completely understand why you said yes, because I also grew up, I grew up hearing those things for sure, but I also, for the most part, grew up in the UK where tanning was the thing.
Right.
So I did definitely hear all those comments, like whenever I went back to the Philippines, or obviously like when you watch TFC, all of like the commercials are these really pale Filipino actresses, and it's all about whitening products. But I've just never, I don't know why either, but I've just never really wanted to be pale. I don't think I've never really wanted to be pale. I just don't think it would suit me. And I don't know. I've just never really wanted to be.
Interested in.
But
Yeah.
I understand why I don't understand why, but I understand why Filipinos grow up thinking that that's
Right.
the way to go.
Yeah.
Because
That's so interesting because environmentally it was so different, like you said.
Yeah.
Where for me that was so normalized, it became acceptable to be surrounded by the fact that, you know, I have to be lighter to look beautiful. Whereas with you, yes, you can hear it from family members whatsoever, but because most of the percentage of your life is outside in school where tanning is normalized, it's not, it's okay, and you don't feel like you have to.
Yeah,
So
and I
also
went,
environment really matters.
definitely, because I went to like an all-girls school and everyone was like fake tanning. So I always felt like, oh, great for me. I don't even have to fake tan. Like I'm already tanned. Like it's great. But yeah, I think environment really plays a part because I think it would have been different if I grew up in the Philippines. I'd definitely be on the papaya soap train.
Yeah.
For sure. What about you, Bubs?
So I really kind of deep dived into my brain for this answer because obviously I'm half Irish, so naturally I'm quite light already. But I remember because I knew it was the night, like what everyone wanted. I always tried my hardest especially when I went to college in Philippines and stuff. I always tried my hardest to keep my colour the way it was and not get tanned when I was in Philippines. When I was here, it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
Like I'd be trying my hardest to get tanned, but whenever I was in the Philippines, I always my lotions that I'd get would be the ones that have whitening.
Papaya,
You know, and also they smell really good.
Yeah, they
I'm not
smell
gonna
lovely.
lie, they smell great.
Honestly, Likas papaya smells so good.
Yeah. But I think I definitely unknowingly tried my best to just stay at this colour, at my skin colour.
So that's so interesting that when you went back home, you adapted to that and kept that
Because
standard.
here I've gone on sunbeds, I've used fake tan.
Really?
Yeah. So
Oh my
it's
God, okay.
how strange is it? When I go Philippines, my whole mindset changes.
Yeah.
Not now I'm older, but when I was younger, 100%. Like it mattered what people thought to me, I think.
Did they
growing up.
mention anything about you being fair skin or light skin?
Yeah,
Was that
everyone
mentioned
would
a lot?
always compliment it.
Oh, really? What would they say?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're so magandang puti mo.
Like, ang puti mo, like, it's so nice. Just like that, yeah. Ang puti mo, sana all. People call me like, nicknames would be like Labanos, like Bear Brand, ganon. I wouldn't be offended by it though. But so I think it made me feel a bit like, because I never got that here. So in the Philippines, I guess it being like a young, very easily influenced teenage girl, I really liked it, you know.
Wow. I remember when I went to the Philippines years ago, and this is after being in a relationship with Anthony, where Anthony is very pro, like, you should embrace your natural colour whatsoever. And I bought kojic soap that was just for my armpits, my singit especially, because it's like...
Armpits.
Or the singit is the start, or like, you know, just the ends. And he hated it. He was like, why have you got these whitening products? I was like, it's not for my skin. It's for the back of my neck. It's for my singit, some parts that I want to lighten. But at the same time, it's like, just having it in the household, I didn't realize the impact that it made him feel, like as if like, oh, so you have these things that deep rooted in blackness that we hate, and yet like I'm just so unaware that that's what came with being in a relationship with a black person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because to any Filipino, it would be kind of just seen as normal.
Just normal.
Yeah.
But also I like the smell as well, like likas papaya, the smell of that.
And like touching on armpits. Bubs and I feel very strong.
We've had so many conversations about armpits.
What about armpit?
Like the colour.
Dark
armpits.
I don't know. I don't know. Is it just a Filipino thing or is it everywhere? But we really appreciate a flawless armpit.
Yeah.
Do you think that is a
love
feminine beauty standard that was put by the patriarchal society? Like as if if you have nice, cleaner, no hair armpits, then you're more beautiful for the male gaze.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
In terms of, I don't know, in terms of hair, definitely. But like I don't really like grow out my armpit hair. But I'm thinking more like colour.
Right.
So like, because my armpits.
What's wrong with it being dark? If it's dark, then how do you feel?
Because like growing up, it has always been a thing. Ang itim ng kilikili mo.
Yes.
Okay, so
Like,
it's
bakit ganon?
Yeah.
My mom has been like, made me use. She'd be like, "Bakit ganon? Like, why is it like
Ang
that?"
duming tignan, like it's dirty looking. That's what my dad would say about
And it's not even like we don't have like super dark
I do.
armpits. No, you don't.
Oh, I do.
Sure. Joke.
But it isn't like, Anne Curtis's armpits are just so flawless.
Yeah,
And it's like,
Kim's armpits.
that's
gorgeous.
not.
Yeah, I know. She doesn't
cannot
have to worry
even
about
with her.
But I don't know why. I don't know if it's a Filipino thing or if it would be interesting to know if it was also other places. But it's definitely a big.
I think it's very much maybe an Asian thing.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's
Yeah.
definitely
I
like
can
people
imag-
don't care about their armpits here.
That is the only whitening product I've used, like whitening deodorant.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
tried that. Doesn't work.
Oh.
No, it
Neither
really
does
don't.
lemon.
Oh, I've done the lemon. It stung. It got to the point it stung. I
Yeah,
did it so much.
stings.
I cannot relate because I've got hair.
But yeah, armpits.
Yeah.
That
But some
is a
people
thing.
are just
Kili
so
kili
lucky.
power.
Kili kili
Yeah.
power.
Oh my god.
And seeing it matters a lot.
Oh, yeah. Sorry to out you, Ella, but I remember Ella was like...
She was like mid-bite.
She was like, ages ago, she was like, how do you brighten your skin? But she said this in front of my parents too. I was like, just use a loofah. Just scrub.
Aw.
But yeah,
I-
seeing it
yeah.
is one.
I think it's literally just genetic though.
Yeah.
I think so.
Right?
No, and also, I think it's I think it's genetic, but I think it's also like shaving and deodorant use and I don't know other things, but
Because my friends in Philippines, may mga like we have some friends that are just naturally darker than the other, and like there's one of my friends that has quite dark seeing it, and they all joke about it. But
Oh,
like
yeah.
she'd laugh about it too because it's just the norm to laugh about it
Yeah.
rather than get upset about it.
That's kind of like with my cousins. We all have nicknames for each other that is taking the piss.
Yeah.
So we have one that's... So we have a darker skinned cousin too. And apparently she got... You know lihe? Like when you're
Oh, yeah.
pregnant and you're like
Yeah.
your cravings basically. Her mum's cravings was burnt pizza. So that's why apparently she's darker.
Oh my gosh, that's what aunties.
surely not.
It's a thing. I've been eating a lot of aubergine lately, and all my aunties was like, "Magiging itim yung anak mo."
Really?
Get that from? Where is it going to?
I don't
be dark
even
from?
know.
You and John are literally like the colour of this card.
But it's like it's such a thing in
It
Philippines.
is. It is. Yung
Yeah.
lihi.
Yeah.
We also have a cousin who got lihi from coconut, so she's quite lighter skin. But I don't know if they're just associating that.
I'm going to like pretend that I have a really like I don't know. I'm gonna pretend that when I'm pregnant, I'm gonna pretend that aubergines are my thing.
Your
'cause
cravings.
then people are gonna be like, "Well, your child." People do say that. People are like, "Your child's gonna be dark." I'm like, "Yeah, obviously."
Yeah,
I'm
because
dark.
you're genetically darker.
Like, oh, it really grinds my gears,
I
man.
know.
Does it upset you?
It doesn't upset me. It's just
Okay.
annoying.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Did you have a time in your life where people actually took the piss out of your dark skin?
Not really. It's just always commented on.
Yeah.
Like everyone always just says, like everyone always comments that I'm darker, or like if I'm in the sun, they're like, oh, you shouldn't be in the sun. You're already dark.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to be dark.
Yeah.
Like if you ever go on holiday, you've been on holiday with me. I literally
Yeah,
lie in the
just-
sun like
yeah.
take.
You're literally in the sun for 2 minutes and you
Yeah.
get a
It's so
beautiful
true.
tan.
But I really find it annoying when people buy me whitening products.
Yeah, I can't believe that though.
Like I'm not going to use them. No.
No.
Like I just don't. And like if I ever have a daughter, and she will probably be dark because her mother is. If anyone sends a whitening product her way,
Yeah.
like get out of here.
100%.
I don't think anyone would though.
Probably not after hearing this.
No.
Feel the wrath of me. But yeah, I'm very like what Anthony says. I think you should embrace your color, whether you're pale or you're dark.
Yeah.
I don't think it should.
Do you think
Embrace it, basically.
Yeah.
Do you think it's something? I remember Pia worked back. That's how you say her name.
Yeah.
Which back?
Worked back.
So yeah.
She was
Pia.
like a Miss Universe, Miss Philippines, and like she was like the first one I saw that's not like super. She wasn't. She's like the first one that's not probably half white. Actually, she is.
She's half German.
She's
I
half
think.
German, but she's tan.
She's tan, yeah.
She's
And
tan.
I think after that, I think I noticed a slight switch into people kind of celebrating a little bit more the morena
Yeah, the Morena.
beauty
Yeah.
after that.
Because even the last one, she's half black, isn't she? What's
Yeah.
her name?
She was Miss Bulacan.
Miss Bulacan. Yeah.
yeah.
She's so beautiful as well.
Chelsea, I think her name
Chelsea.
was.
Me and
Yeah.
Anthony were like, that's
That's
going to be a
sorry.
child. Miss
Yeah,
Chelsea.
it's definitely slightly shifting.
Yeah, it's
right?
shifting. I can feel the shift too.
Yeah, me too.
It's very slow.
Yeah.
But it's
We'll
still,
get there.
there's a big shift for sure.
People are just kind of being more comfortable in their own skin, which is lovely. But also, if people, for whatever reason, do want to try and whiten their skin, then do you, I guess.
Yeah.
But I hope you're just not doing it for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, just to touch upon the fact that it is changing, I also think because there's less jobs there's less jobs out in the fields, fishermen and stuff like that is constantly changing. Like now that people see that people are going on holidays when they've got money in the Philippines, trying to catch a tan, it's now changing
Yeah, that's true.
the conversation, I think.
Very true.
Yeah. People
Yeah.
are kind of getting a bit more proud, like, oh, I'm gonna get a tan and
Island
stuff
girl.
like this.
Oh, yeah, Island girl.
Oh, the likes of what's her name? She lives in Shergao.
Oh, Andy Eigenman.
Andy
Yes.
Eigenman.
Yeah.
Yeah, she really kind of
I love
opened that
that.
up. I
Yeah.
think being like
Love
really
her.
natural and
Yeah.
just getting the tan and
And
I
just
love
living the
that.
natural life,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. She left all of that
yeah.
in Manila and was like, I'm going to live the natural life. I love that.
I reckon she was a huge influence
Yeah.
doing that. I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. I think Bratman as well.
Oh yeah,
Bratman
definitely.
He's
So
like the Filipino influence.
Influencer for sure.
And he definitely lives the island life.
Yeah.
Very tanned.
Yeah.
he
I'm
loves
so
his
jealous
skin.
of him.
I love that for him.
So much.
Same. It's
Bratman.
quite obsessive, actually. Every episode, I feel like we mention him. And I try to stop myself from mentioning
Yeah.
him as well.
In my head, I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
Yeah. Because I did the last episode.
Did you guys see one of the latest videos he has where he's just like walking around with his chickens?
I love that.
It's so funny.
Oh.
He's just like loving life with all these animals in this amazing house. Oh man,
Yeah,
the dream.
that's a
And he's
dream.
really good friends with Anne Curtis.
Well, question, you know Anne Curtis's brand, the cosmetic brand,
Yeah.
BLK.
yeah.
Are there any brightening stuff there?
I don't know.
don't
You
know.
know.
I don't think so, you know.
I haven't looked.
Do you know what? All I know of is like the lip tint, the cheek tint. That's all I kind of know about.
Just interesting
Oh, that
to
would
know.
be interesting because she's actually
She's all for natural.
she's very natural. Like when she goes away, parang
Although she's
really
so-
close.
She-
Like, we know her.
friendship.
But she's just like out in the sun,
Yeah.
skin
Yeah.
out.
She's definitely Josa. Like the way, have you seen that viral video of her like just hanging in Sikihor?
Yeah.
Bitch,
Yeah.
how the fuck are you just sorry? How are you just doing that? Like
I know.
I'm going to try it.
but yeah, we have to.
I've seen so many funny videos of people trying to do it.
Yeah,
they just
yeah.
don't have-
No.
How does she do that?
I think she also
She's
trains.
fit,
So
though.
like she's fit exactly.
She goes gym a lot.
Great.
Have you seen videos of her daughter? She's so cute.
I haven't really
She's
seen
so
much of her.
dramatic.
Really?
She's like, ew, like she's like her mum.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
hilarious.
Ah, I'd love to be her.
Yeah, that would be great.
Oh,
Should we
okay.
go on to
Yeah.
the second poll?
Yeah.
I know. Ding.
Oh. Ding. Oh, hey. Okay. Oh, sorry. Right. Next poll was, if a Filipino relative commented on your weight today, would you brush it off or would it still sting? 27% said I'd brush it off. 14% said Tita, it hurts. 59% said it's expected, but I hate it.
It's so interesting how a lot of people say it's expected.
Oh yeah.
It's just such an expect.
It's
More
than half.
Thing.
expected.
What did you guys answer this?
Yes, I think I said it's expected, but I hate it.
Same.
Same. Baka tayo lang ang...
Actually, I counted on the tube on the way here.
Okay.
There's about, I think, 30 people that
Oh,
have just been
wow.
voting. I
Thank
mean, that's
you.
Oh,
like,
thanks for voting.
I know.
We have followers. Yeah, so yeah, it's a bit sad that it's expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe slightly I'm moving towards that I'd brush it off now though. I don't know if I hate it as much anymore. Like I'm
Fair.
just
Because it's expected,
Used
you're
to
like,
it.
okay, cool, yeah.
yeah.
I throw it back sometimes to like my dad, especially.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I throw it back.
I throw it back.
What do you throw it back with?
He
Like-
basically the other day, he was like, you're did I say this to you guys?
I
He
don't
was
think so.
like, oh, your face is so round. I was like, wow, tingnan mo naman yung mukha mo, parang ang slim ng face mo. I was like, syempre may pinagmanahan. I got it from someone, right?
Oh my god.
And what did he say?
He just laughs.
laughed,
He just laughs.
yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
expected for them to throw it back with banter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't. Like if you have it thrown back at you after you've said it, you can't get annoyed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I also think like if it's said a lot of the time with Filipinos, it's not said in a malicious way anyway. So if you reply with a joke, it's like jokes.
Yeah.
If that
Then in
makes
what
sense.
way are
Also
they
a
saying
spat.
it?
What have ways that have been said to you, where
yeah.
you felt
Like I think not really so much anymore, but when I was younger, it really affected me because obviously, as a teenage girl or like growing up, I just was quite conscious of my weight sometimes, especially if I put it on. So whenever I got a comment that was like, "Ay, tumaba ka," I would literally, it would eat at me for days.
oh bless
Yeah,
you,
so that's why it kind of like it gets my back up sometimes, and when I throw it back, sometimes I'm not joking. Like napipikon talaga ako. So I'm
Yeah.
literally like, "Well, payat mo," like, but in a serious way.
Yeah.
And then like,
Ganda mo, ah.
but yeah, so then I'm like, if you're commenting on someone, I know it's like cultural and people will comment on your weight, but if it's not malicious, then in what way are you saying it? Like,
Yeah.
Some people do it as a conversation starter. So it's like
True.
a defensive mechanism. Not from my experience, but like some people just would see someone successful and they just wouldn't know how to start that conversation with, I don't know, their nephew, niece or whatever. And so just to get back at them a bit, like
Yeah.
like a little sharp, it's like,
like crab mentality.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
tumaba.
tumaba ka. Yeah, come down with me, I'm mataba na. So come, let's be mataba together.
I remember my cousin, right? I had this stage where like I gained a lot of weight. I was still really young, only like 21. And my cousin was like, ay, ang taba mo. And like, wala na, hindi ka na babalik.
Oh my gosh!
I was like, that's deep.
Whoa.
For what reason are you saying that?
Wala na. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, true.
I was like, shit, that's fucking harsh.
That is hard. And why do they think that there's no
There's
return?
Right.
Yeah.
What about you made them think that?
I don't
Right.
know, because obviously I think it was the biggest I had been up until that point, and then it's just like, wala na,
Oh, you've lost it.
you've lost it.
That is so peak.
Like, what the heck?
Oh, my
How can
days.
you say that to someone? Yeah, that was pretty peak. Looking back on it now, I think it got me upset, but I still remember it, and that was like when I was like 21, so it must have like played on my mind, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
does. How annoyingly though, some people how it made me feel with the whole commenting is that I then overeat. I stress eat. I'm not very careful with what I look at. I'm just like, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm already fat, so let me just
Tumaba
eat.
ako, ah.
Kaya tumaba ako, di tataba pa din ako. We go, di ba? Hanggang magka-gout ako, sige.
That is like actually a trauma, I think.
I know, that is trauma.
Yeah.
That's a trauma response. I did the same.
As soon as I got gout, that's when I was like, this is all your fault. Not only because you called me fat, this is from your genes. It's
Oh my
cultural
God.
trauma.
This is just
is. Why do we do
toxicity
this?
it's to the max.
But don't you guys love the fact that we use it in humour? So it's like 50-50 though. Like 50% I like the fact that we use it humorously. Is that even a word? Like quite in humour to take the piss out of so that it's lightened.
Yeah.
But at the same time to what extent do we keep pushing the jokes that it becomes harmful?
I think, I don't know. Like in this, the current newer generations are a lot more sensitive. Also, I feel.
Yeah, and I think it also depends how old the person is that you're speaking to. Like, if you said it to me now, whatever. If you said it to me when I was 17, big problem.
Yeah.
So I think people really need to be conscious, especially for like teenagers and young adults, because they're in that stage where, like, they're probably quite conscious about it.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of my friends were quite conscious about their weight growing up.
Yeah.
So.
But on top of that, the era of social media where there's so much pressure
Yeah.
of what people should look like. We didn't really have that other than each other and magazines and like celebrities.
Okay.
But now it's people that are just normal day people
Yeah.
looking so great in your face. You're like, oh, that's the standard I should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially for teenagers, that's
Yeah.
quite dangerous.
We need to be mindful.
Yeah.
I do love it when I see an influencer that's like, she could be a bigger, naturally bigger person, and she just like embraces it and, you know, isn't the norm of like the super skinny, you know what I'm like,
embracing the plus size basically.
yeah, that's, I was trying to think of the
Yeah.
right term, but yeah, embracing the plus size or
Yeah.
just a normal
Just
as well.
normal body, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I feel like Filipino people say it to someone who isn't even big.
Yeah.
Like, even if you put on a little bit of weight, but you're still quite small.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're just built like that.
yeah. We
Why are
just
you built
need
like that? Oh, we didn't even click it.
Oh,
Okay, anyways.
crap. What
That's all right. We've got...
How are we doing?
Poll number 3 was, do you think Filipino women are still raised to believe their looks matter more than their voice? We had 51% say sadly yes, 11% say not anymore, and 38% think it's changing.
I'm just going to comment because obviously it's not something that I am going through or experiencing. I think it is slowly changing in a way, but I don't think... I think the standard is still there.
Yeah.
That if you have to be pretty, you just need to be pretty and not have a voice. Does that make sense? Is that what? Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. Sorry. I get you. Right. All that matters really is how pretty you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And not your
kahit wala
voice.
kang talent, you can be an artista if you're
If
pretty.
If you're
pretty.
pretty. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They'll figure out a way to make you still
To market
do
you.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
Sure.
So, like, with that whole, you know, being a female, obviously that's a pressure already. If you're not good looking, then is the pressure that you have to at least be smart?
I think so.
Defo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to bring something
One
to
or the
table.
other.
And this is because of the male gaze that you have to be basically like wifeable.
Yeah.
Or maybe just something your parents will feel proud of.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah.
that's a big
Could be.
thing.
Actually, yeah. I didn't think of that.
It's a big thing, isn't it?
Maybe
Ooh,
there's
this is a
something
whole
they can
nother
big up
beast.
or be proud of. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the case for like in Filipino culture, any child though, male or female, with their children, that you have to have something to.
Pagyayabang.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're not good looking, then you're not going to succeed.
Yeah.
How else are you going to be? You smart?
If not, then
If
what
not,
are
then
you?
yeah. Marunong ka magluto, maglaba? Can you cook? Can you wash clothes? What are you going to offer the man?
Yeah.
How are you going to raise your children? Girl, what?
I know.
Yeah.
What about like in terms of beauty standards, but obviously for like men, do you feel there's any, have you grown up with any kind of pressure to look a certain way?
No, I think there is, in a general sense, a toxic masculinity. So the
Okay.
bigger you are, the more alpha you look, the more alpha how you bring yourself in the table, in the room. If you're more alpha, then you're more respected, I guess. So it's not really how you look, because I guess deep-rooted into things where if you're a female, you're supposed to just be married. So you have to be picked by a man. So you have to look in a certain way or be able to offer something. Whereas a man don't have those things.
Yeah.
You just have to be the alpha. Can you carry your family? Can you carry your wife? What can you bring in the table in terms of offering food and money and, finances. So I think that is a toxic masculinity that comes with it all. Because if you're more feminine and you're less alpha, as they would say, then you're not going to succeed in the society, which is still built by men, So I don't think it's a beauty standard. I think it's more of a toxic masculinity trait, or toxic masculinity is, I guess, the thing.
So okay.
Do you think?
Which, sorry, to go back, actually, it does root with that. It goes with it. So the more muscly you are, the more masculine you are, the more you're alpha, the more you can bring into exactly.
Size matters.
Size matters.
Pretty much.
In all aspects. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You were going to say something. Sorry, I interrupted you.
What was it? Oh yeah. Do you think that Filipino society is or culture is quite patriarchal, more so than other societies?
That's so interesting. I think not as much as the Western world.
Okay.
I think we are so pre-colonialism. I feel like we've embraced femininity and masculinity. Like I said before, like Babaylands, the priestesses were either females or male with a female energy. So I think we did respect that, and we show how much we respect women as well, and women's power. We had women presidents, so I think it's not as heavily. I think it was influenced probably by the American society when they took over, but I think it's definitely influenced by the Western ideology, the whole patriarchal
What do you think?
system.
I don't know. I feel like it can be a little bit more sexist than.
Do you have an example?
I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to think of.
Are you more on like
examples?
as a female, you have to stay at home, be maternal, cooking?
Yeah.
Is that what you're referring to?
Or like even if I don't know how I don't know how to word this. I don't know. I just feel like I see. I don't know. It's just little comments I've heard like throughout the years. I just feel like it's more blatantly sexist than the Western world. Like they'll say something and you'll be like, "Ano ba yan, babae ka?" Like you would never say that here.
Fine.
You wouldn't be like, "What are you doing?" Like you're a girl. Like you wouldn't hear that here. Whereas in the Philippines, it's much more spoken about.
Yeah, I get you.
So as a female, you have a certain role to play.
Yeah, or like you
Yes.
can't be this. Like why? Like if like my room was messy, it would be like you can't be messy, babae
Babae
ka.
ka.
Yeah,
in
like
battle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or like if a man cries, it's like
Yeah.
that's like you're a man.
You're a man,
Like,
why
what
you cry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that. It's more
There's a gender role.
vocalized. It's more vocalized, I think, than
Yeah.
But then I think also that goes back to the American ideology, isn't it? Of the American dream of having man, woman living in a house with a child and a
Yeah.
dog. There's a specific gender role that's there. I think that was taken to the Philippines for sure. And so the gender role was really where the Western world is now very forward thinking and more woke, I guess.
Yeah.
In the Philippines is slower.
Yeah.
But that was the effect that they left to us, that we have certain gender roles. But I do get that, those microaggression comments.
Yeah.
Because I had an experience at uni. Oh my God, this is so bad. Obviously, I came to the country really young and I had those ideology of being sexist as well because I didn't know any better.
yeah.
I was in a uni party and one of our friends, so I had one girl friend and a guy who we used to hang out a lot, but I knew that they kind of liked each other, but I just didn't meddle around with it. But anyways, we got drunk and then the guy was like, another girl was sat on him and was just like all over her. In my mind, I'm like, you're a girl, you can't do that. You can't be, all over a guy. So that's obvious,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Do you
my
not have any
bias.
respect for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So then
very.
I said that to my friends, maybe to think that, I'm going to make you feel better because I know you like her. She slapped me. She was like, you can't say that. And I was like, fuck, what did I say? And that was
Yeah.
an eye-opening thing for me to be
Yeah.
like, okay, I need to wake up. I need to realize my biases and how that comes across
Yeah.
to people that are here, like the Western world.
Yeah.
So even though you were talking about a girl that's flirting with the guy she likes, she still stood up for the
She's
girl.
for the girl.
Oh, God.
Wow, like girl.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah, that's so
that's
true.
really
I feel
cool.
like in the Philippines, you have to be bakipot if you're a girl. Like, you can't be all over a guy. That's
Yeah.
very frowned upon.
You're malande.
Yeah.
Malande,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I remember being in college, I used to like be out late, like hang out with friends, and we'd all like maybe have drinks and stuff like that. And my Tita, she was really strict. She'd be like, "Kababaing tao,"
Yeah.
like what are you like doing, kind of thing. It used to be really frowned upon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to be with like boys by myself.
Yeah, and I feel like most of my friends in Philippines were either gay or boys because all the girls would never be out. They'd never be allowed out.
Oh, that makes sense.
There was only there's only 2 girls that are like my friends in Philippines because we'd be their parents would like allow them to like hang out more in comparison to all the other girls that were in our class. But it wouldn't be because like anything bad is happening. It would like it's just
The way of things.
the way it was, and even the boys would feel very uncomfortable at first hanging out with me, and like they'd always like be looking after me extra just because I am a girl.
girl, yeah.
But like if someone else saw me hanging out with the boys, they would probably think that I'm doing like
Weird
sexual
things.
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
things.
You're
with
being
them.
wild.
Yeah,
as they would
malande.
call it. Malande,
Yeah.
wild. But then I don't understand it, the overprotectiveness of men with Filipino women in Philippines. It's kind of like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like,
Sa legal stage,
Yeah.
very
oh, yeah.
right.
To be
So
fair, I feel like there are parts of that I like.
Such
Yeah.
as.
Like, so you know how obviously there are parts of, with all these gender roles, there are negatives, but I won't lie and say that I quite like being looked after by a man. Like, I won't deny that. I think a lot of girls like that. I like the overprotectiveness. I like, you know how some people say that you can't have it both ways where you're all for feminism, but you
But then-
also would like a guy to open the door for you
Yeah.
or
yeah,
pull out your chair
be
for
a bit
you.
of a gentleman.
I like that part of Filipino culture. I like the legal stuff. I like my dad always, whenever we were walking down the road, he would always make sure he was on the side closer to the
outside.
cars. I like all of that. I
Yeah.
think it's lovely.
Yeah, but what's that called again?
Chivalry.
Chivalry.
Yeah, I think that's a lovely trait to have. And I think that actually makes a man more manlier if they're chivalrous.
Chivalrous.
In my mind.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that makes sense. And that goes with, if you're a man, you should be able to look after your woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And very chivalrous in the Philippines. Like, if you're in
Very,
the tram,
very.
they will, if you're a female, they'll let you sit.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
in the Western gays, like, I've seen YouTube videos of, like a British woman who got on the DLR, and got offered a seat, and she was just a bit shocked, like, why are you offering me your seat? And obviously here it's taken differently.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've also seen TikToks where women here are like, look at all these men, they haven't even offered me on the tube, like, seats. Do you know what I'm saying? So I personally don't know where the line crosses and what standards should there be with men and women.
Yeah.
Because I'm already crossing the fucking border. I'm breaking the barriers.
To be honest, I feel like the term chivalry is dead for me is like such an apparent thing. I do think it is dying. So when it does happen, it's like, oh, like that's really nice of you, thank you, kind of thing. If someone offers you a seat or if someone opens the door for you, I wouldn't be the type that would get on a train and expect it from anyone though.
No.
Even being pregnant, it doesn't happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
happened a few times, like
Yeah.
when I was heavily pregnant before.
Yeah, no one offered you their seat. That was really weird though, because
Yeah.
she was very pregnant.
And like it just kind of, I try and block it out because it kind of like makes me just angry at humanity.
Yeah.
You know? But in the Philippines, I don't think that would happen.
No, you're right.
I think it's like a difficult line. I think I really like it when men are chivalrous, but at the same time, there was this one time where I was at the gym and I was like re-racking the weights and someone said to James like, you should help her. And that can be seen as they were trying to be chivalrous. But in my mind, I was like, do you not think I can do this myself?
Yeah.
So it's really difficult.
Yeah. And then
Like,
for
to know.
people, then they might be like, "Oh, well, I can't win. I'm
Yeah,
trying to be
exactly.
chivalrous."
That's a
so
lot of
true.
men now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Yeah.
I
It's really
understand why it
difficult.
must be hard for them too, or anyone to really. Sometimes it just could be a bad day. Sometimes.
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
Well, the question is, do you think as a society, Filipino society, should we keep the chivalry?
Absolutely.
I like the
Because
chivalry.
I quite like it too. But then living here, you kind of forget that as a man, like opening doors for women and stuff like that,
yeah.
because you don't want to offend.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to open the door and then they're just like, why? Like, do you know what I mean?
can open my own door.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, what the hell do you... Then you go back to the Philippines and you forget to open the door now.
And then they're
So you're
like,
like,
"Bastos."
yeah,
Yeah.
bastos, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. I think keep the chivalry, but also being chivalrous doesn't necessarily mean that you should think you're better
than.
Yeah.
But that's a very difficult. That's
Oh,
like
yeah,
a whole
I
minefield.
know.
I don't
And
even
it
know.
could literally just depend on the day.
Yeah.
And the
person's
person.
day.
And the
Yeah.
person, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So the fourth one, and the last one, is about influencers. Do you think some Filipino influencers still push old school beauty standards, just with like trendier packaging, like calling whitening products brightening? 27% said yes, 6% said no, they're breaking the mold, and 67% said some do, some don't.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, fair.
Which
Some
is
do, some don't.
Yeah, but I think for me in the Philippines, more influencers in the Philippines are kind of packaging the old school toxicity in a way, like the whole whitening, calling it brightening now, as opposed to Western or influencers around the world. Definitely in the Philippines is still.
I think that I was trying to, at the initial stage when we thought of that question, I was trying to think if celebrities do still do that. And I couldn't think of anything. And then Bub sent in loads of pictures and I was like, oh my God. So it's just such a norm in my brain to see it that I don't even notice it when it's being
Or maybe,
advertised.
or I think I'm more conscious of it because it's something that really annoys me.
Yeah.
So I think when I see it, I notice it because I'm like,
It's like a
ugh, how
trigger.
annoying. Yeah. So I think that's why I knew that they still did it because
Yeah.
I see it and then I'm like,
What were the ones that you sent to us?
so I sent.
Because it's interesting, actually.
Right. What did I
It was so
send?
interesting because
There
you
were
just sent
loads.
in loads and I was like, crap, I've
Celebrities
never...
that you didn't really think, you know.
It will usually be the paler celebrities because
Yeah.
you're not going to get a Morena like advertising whitening products because that's not what they would look for.
That's not their brand.
So, first one was Anne Curtis. We can probably insert.
Yeah. Ding ding.
So this is like Cetaphil, bright, healthy radiance. Be hashtag bright about skin. That was
Bright,
one of them.
healthy radiance. So health is attached to being white.
And I think you said something that's so valid. Like the words bright are also used in the Western world,
Yeah.
but I think they're used differently. So I think in the Philippines, I do think bright means white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas here it's more like to tackle like melasma or dark spots rather than actually trying to bleach your skin. But I think
Yeah.
in the Philippines they're trying to bleach your
They,
skin.
yeah.
And if you
Like
buy it, that's what you're
glow.
going
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
Glow,
Yeah.
bright.
Yeah.
That's
So
just
they're
a
using
different.
the words we use that are used in the Western world
Yeah.
but they're using it for a different reason.
Yeah.
Packaging it so that it's post woke,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then the next one was heart. Oh.
We love her.
But her, she's
Yeah.
fully.
Yeah. Soft glowing skin. Yes, please. Transexamic whitening serum lotion.
Oh, so hers blatantly has
Has
whitening.
white-
But she's
Whitening.
not even like fair light skin as well.
Yeah,
like
she's not that pale. But yeah, that
Wow.
one fully says whitening.
yeah.
And then we've got Julia Barreto had Pina Glow Daily Skin Glowing Soap. So again, glow. But the ingredients are gluta and kojic, which are whitening
Whitening
products.
products, yeah.
Yeah, so people get like glutathione drips in the Philippines
Yeah.
to like make their skin
And they
white.
used the word glow.
Yeah, look, she said, trust me,
Glow.
the glow is real. So yeah, they're basically, she hasn't written whitening there, but it's whitening and it's called glowing soap.
Mm.
And then Marianne Rivera she was the ambassador for New White official.
What is that?
It's like a brand, because then I looked at what they were to see, and official
I'm
Instagram account of
surprised.
New White, S-acetyl glutathione, the most powerful glutathione, FDA approved. And like if you scroll on their thing, it's literally like, why New White makes you glow? What makes you glow? 4 tips for glowing skin.
Wow.
They never used to have that, isn't it? It just always used to be
No.
white.
Yeah, it would be like
Yeah.
how to make your
Pale.
skin white.
Yeah.
How to be white. Like
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the advert for, I think it's Likas Papaya or Kojic? He basically comes home from abroad, and then he just still looked darker, like he didn't go abroad. Then he comes to his town, his barangay, and everyone's got this like glow, and then the wind's just pushing them out. And obviously it's all like very dramatic. And then she looks like at the tindera, and then she's glowing as if like he's not been on holiday, and he's not come from abroad, and they have.
Yeah.
And it's one hilarious, but also quite dangerous, because it's like you're obviously setting a standard that you have to be lighter
Yeah.
to look richer or come from abroad.
yeah.
But then again, it goes back to using humor.
Yeah.
Why are we packaging all of these toxic traits as humor?
To like soften the
To
blow.
soften the...
That shouldn't be a blow.
Exactly. That's like one of the influencers that I watch. And I love her. Her name's Yula Castro. She's plus size, and she's very embracing of her plus size. But then to the point that her whole branding and her humor is about her being big.
Right. Yeah.
Even the friends that she vlogs with her, they take the piss out of it.
Yeah.
And I think you watch it and it's hilarious, but at the same time, it's quite dangerous, because what about people that don't want to use their weight as humor?
True.
yeah.
They'll be looked at and laughed at
Yeah.
straight away.
But then also, is she purposely making herself bigger as well, because it's giving her content and
To capitalize
giving her-
on.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
mad if
It
it's
is.
the case, right?
Yeah. And I guess, yeah, that's, again, the beauty standard in Philippines. It's like, if you're not good looking, then you're not artista material.
Yeah.
So if you're not the norm in society, then you're not really, they don't celebrate it in terms of being in a love team. You're always a sidekick.
Yeah.
You're always the funny one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not standardly beautiful, you won't be picked for a love team.
You have to be funny at least.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Or like just something different about you that can be taken the piss out of,
Yeah.
which is really sad.
That is really sad.
Yeah. I think in general in the Philippines though, when it comes to like showing emotions, unless it's a relationship Filipinos are very dramatic. But if it comes to showing emotion about being hurt by someone's words or something like that, Filipinos, I feel, are so strong. They hold it in a lot. So a lot of stuff gets suppressed.
Yeah.
So like humor is used as like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Defense, yes. Actually, that's so interesting you said that, because what I picked up in the Philippines is my sense of humor of like taking the piss out of, to soften the blow, take the piss out of me, to then take the piss out of you, but not in like, in a humorous way, in like, not jabbing you,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like to soften the blow, like, oh, we both have flaws and it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the sense of humor I picked up in Philippines that I brought over here. And I think that didn't come across well when I went to uni, especially.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was eye-opening for me for sure.
I think it's quite nice though that in a way also though that Filipinos can take a situation and turn it to a bit of a lighter
Yeah.
situation.
That
and
is that's
See
nice.
the-
It is. Yeah.
see the funny
Yeah.
side of things and
Yeah.
not always take themselves so seriously, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Filipinos are really good at not taking themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
Like with everything.
It's what's it called? It's like it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
for sure.
Like to make a Filipino laugh, I don't think it takes a lot. Like,
No.
what's the thing? Mababaw ang kaligayahan.
Kaligayahan, yeah.
Which is a good thing,
I
right?
love that, yeah.
Yeah.
It is really good.
Whereas in England, sometimes if you did a joke, you'd be like, oh.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, not
I think
funny.
it's
So
also
true.
like really good for like as a people pleaser. Whenever I joke with a Filipino, I'm much less anxious about because I know that they'll probably brush it off.
Yeah.
Because and they won't take it so seriously. Whereas probably if I was joking with a non-Filipino and I said something a bit risque, I'd be a bit like, oh no, like
Yeah.
they take it the wrong way.
It's so true because because we open up with humor, it can come across sharp to non-Filipinos for sure. So if you like you said, if as a people pleaser myself too, if I say things that I would usually say to a Filipino friend, they might take that in a different way, especially if it's like a toxic trait that we have that we joke about anyways.
Yeah.
They'll come back to, what do you mean? And you're like, fuck. You're kind of like,
Nothing. Only joking. I guess, like, can you imagine, like, you know, when someone comments on someone's weight, doing that in a room full of English people?
yeah.
That would
You'd
go
be
down
shunned.
so badly.
So bad.
Like, it would go
It'll
down so bad.
But then I have certain non-Filipino friends that love that trait about us.
Yeah.
Like if I joke about, you know, like if you just make a sense of humor about, I don't know, with weight or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They love it because it's like, oh my God, you're being real, but at the same time, you're not harming anyone.
Yeah.
So it depends who you say it to, but in a room full of Brits, you can't really.
No.
Yeah. I guess there's pros and cons in it. So
Yeah.
all sides. What do you think? I think we're going towards a better
Oh,
way
definitely.
of being.
Definitely.
But like, do you think there's anything that we could kind of like try and do more? Is there anything more we can do? Do you think?
To
right
better.
now? Yeah. To be more.
How do I
Personally,
work
I
with-
think even having the discussion now helps so
Yes,
much.
absolutely.
Just talking about it.
Yeah.
Like being a bit more accountable maybe for what you say, or I guess what you said earlier about like knowing who you're speaking to. Like if you're speaking to younger girls, it's obviously going to be a bit
Yeah.
more not
Yeah.
only younger, anyone,
Yeah.
but be a bit more sensitive
Yeah.
then. And
Some people are just quite insensitive though, like especially post woke.
insensitive.
Yeah, they're just like, why do I need to now tread on eggshells and
Yeah.
all that stuff? Which
What do you think about that?
it's so strange. It's like 50-50 again for me. I think we're going too far post woke with just being too sensitive that we can't even talk about things. I feel like we have lost the sense of debates, thinking of other people's opinions. I feel like if you put your opinion out there, especially with social media now, you're either cancelled or
Yeah.
people will disrespect you due to what they think you were thinking in that moment in your life.
Yeah.
So I think that's quite dangerous in a sense. But I think we just need to be able to talk and put opinions out there and not
Yeah.
pinpoint that person. This is how you are. I judge you because of what you said
That
at this point of your
one
life.
time,
Do
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah.
so true.
That's so true. And especially like someone could learn after making a silly comment as well
Exactly.
and be better. It's not like you say one thing maybe and then like you're a horrible person, you should go to hell.
Yeah.
You know, that's how
Yeah.
extreme sometimes I feel like it
Yeah, I really don't
becomes.
like cancel culture.
Same.
I think we're all human. You're allowed to have. You're going to make a bad comment
Yeah.
or multiple bad comments throughout your life. I think the important thing is to learn from it.
Yeah.
But you can't. I agree. Like some influencers said something 10 years ago. Like for example, when I was younger, like still in school, sometimes I look back through all like, you know, Facebook memories. And like, for example, if something was cringy, I remember back then it was normal to be like, that's so gay. And I would
Yeah.
never
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that
yeah.
now. But like when I become famous, if someone went back through my Facebook and they saw that, they'd be like, she's homophobic. And I'd be like, no,
Yeah,
I
it's
wasn't.
mad.
But that's just what was normal to say then. Not that it was right, but that is what
Yeah.
people my
Yeah.
age said.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd never say that now. Like, no one would ever be like, that's so gay. Like, you would never say that.
Yeah.
Apparently, I saw a guy, he's gay, talking about terms that are coming back into fashion. And he said it's so gay. Like, calling something gay is like, it's definitely coming back. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, how would you feel if I just...
Yeah, how
Do you
would
know
you
what? This
feel?
is funny because in our community, there are certain things that's quite similar to Filipinos where anything that was used in a derogatory term, we turn it around and use it to our advantage. Like the word queer. Apparently back in the day, queer is like, you can't say that.
Oh, yeah.
But now
Really?
we've changed it. Like
Yeah.
everyone can say queer.
Yeah.
Because we've changed the word into something that we can celebrate.
Yeah.
As opposed to back then, if you're called queer, then it's kind of equal to the F word, which is faggot.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Really?
yeah,
Which is
yeah.
still now you can't really use the F
No, no,
word,
no.
but queer was as bad as that.
I didn't know that.
But we turned it around
Yeah.
and was like, you know what? It's celebrated queerness.
Yeah.
Queer. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's actually used as well in the LGBTQ.
Q.
Q.
Yeah.
Yes, Q.
Exactly.
In the Philippines, like it's like I know, I would even be bad for it depending on the group I'm in. Like if someone does something funny, and usually a lot of my friends are and my cousins are transgender, transsexual, transgender, and what
Trans.
What? Trans. Sorry, sorry. And then they'd be like, "Para kang bakla."
Ah,
You know?
yeah.
But I wouldn't be saying.
They wouldn't
Like,
be. It's not
do you know?
derogatory. Yeah. They're not
Yeah.
taking the piss.
So, but then it just depends, I guess, also the group of people you're with, like if it's okay or not. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Everyone has different boundaries, I think.
Yeah,
Some people are
exactly.
okay to joke about it and some
Yeah.
people aren't. So I think it's like knowing your audience.
But then that's another example with the LGBTQ plus community in the Philippines. Okay, humor is used in so many ways, but they've turned everything around so that people we take everything lightly. So if people take the piss, we either give it back or we use that to our advantage.
Yeah.
So I think that's a strength that we have as Filipinos.
Yeah.
If we're thrown into something that we don't like, out of sensitivity, we have the ability to turn that around, whether to use it as a power for yourself,
Yeah.
or to just jab it back like you do with Tita, like we do.
Yeah.
Which then it's like done.
Yeah.
We're done with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
It's
true.
finished.
Yeah.
A
And that's
superpower.
that, I think that Filipino trait where it's like no one wants to show getting upset as well. So
Yeah.
they'll throw it back and then
Yeah.
act as if like that didn't hurt me.
Yeah, that didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also I think a lot of the time it doesn't because everyone
Yeah.
knows the level of
Exactly.
like humor and do you know?
I think we tread less. We don't tread on eggshells as much in the Philippines as opposed to here, for
Definitely.
sure.
Yeah.
definitely
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We're less sensitive, I guess. Wow,
Yeah.
how did
So
this
we've
conversation turn?
discovered.
That's so true. That's so true. Because when I was younger, I was so big on like, honestly, everything upset me. Like, I think I was younger and I always have a runny nose, but I have really small nostrils. I think my uncle once said like, how can you even have a cold? Like you have tiny nostrils, and I got so upset by it. Like, just
weird.
I know.
comment.
I was no, but it was like funny. It was like,
Yeah.
like how could
Oh,
yeah.
He was probably just trying to make you laugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think obviously when I was younger, I was just so dramatic, and
Yeah.
like I would
Yeah.
just get upset about anything anyone said about me. But I think growing up, because it happened so frequently, because I was obviously surrounded by Filipinos, so everyone just jabs at each other. I think you become less sensitive because you become desensitized
Right.
to it.
Yeah.
You're
Definitely.
more stronger because of it.
Yeah, I do think it's a good thing in a
Ooh.
sense. Like it builds your skin. It
Yeah.
makes your
Yeah.
wait what?
Yeah,
it
that's-
makes
that's
you
thin
thicker skin.
Thicker skin.
Thicker skin.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can't, if you're growing up with all these titas and titos like coming at you with all of these,
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
you
Yeah.
can't. You have to develop
You'll
thick
crumble.
skin.
Exactly.
I remember I have a tita that's very, very
Wow.
harsh in Philippines, and there was a time only like a few years ago.
Don't we all?
Everyone does.
Like proper harsh, right? I can't remember what she said, but I it made me cry. But she never saw me cry because you'd never show them. But someone told her, and then like I went back to her house, and she was like, "Ang lambot mo, you need to like thicken your skin." But in Tagalog, I can't remember how. And I remember after that, like it wasn't. She probably didn't mean to make me so upset, but like they don't realize how harsh their words can be sometimes. But they expect you to be as strong as they are.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
So
True.
yeah,
It's a
mad.
generational thing. Because also, I think if you do show that emotion to them too, and they felt that you're sensitive enough, they'll change.
Yeah.
And you don't want that.
You don't want
Yeah.
that.
You just want them to,
True.
right? Like, I
Yeah.
hate it if, like, I did cry in front of them and then they can't make those jokes anymore. They just fully change. And it's like, oh, I don't want you to change. I just want you to know what you've done to me, but, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I guess that's probably why we don't show
Yeah.
it. Interesting.
Very true.
Interesting. Wow.
So interesting.
We really uncovered a lot.
I know.
know.
Love that for us. How do we finish? Oh, Entrepinoy.
So yeah, Entrepinoy. Who are we going with this week?
This
for-
week, I am going to go for Tita's Coffee because I met her. So basically, 135 Supper Club had their second Supper Club a few weeks back, and I think it's months now when this comes out. And the theme was kapwa, which is, very Filipino philosophy. But it was, what's it called? We had a boodle fight. And I didn't realize she invited people in the community. So she had a collaboration with Tita's Coffee. Then I met Jamila, who's now basically, Tita's Coffee is in East London. So it's a specialty coffee van that parks in East London and gives lovely coffee. It's run by a person called Jamila, and the story, which I feel like she should share in this podcast.
Oh, it would be lovely.
Come on.
She called it Tita because unfortunately her...
Howdy! Come on! Sorry?
Where did that come from? But yes, she is in Bethnal Green, Wednesday to Fridays at 8 in the morning till 3 p.m. And then the weekends from 9 in the morning till 4. She's like popping on TikTok as well. People are supporting the business
Seen on
and,
TikTok.
and the story behind it, which we should unpack here, I think.
Yes.
But yes, Tita's Coffee.
Lovely. Lovely. Okay, so what are we saying? Okay, great. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Oh, your sunglasses. Okay.
Please keep supporting us, guys, and
forget to
keep
follow.
engaging.
Yes.
Yes.
Engage so that we can
Engage.
grow. Engage. Help
Yeah.
us grow.
And we've got so much to offer as well, isn't it?
Yes,
We've got something
please.
brewing, I feel.
Yes.
Oh.
Please like, support any way you can.
Yes.
Thank you
Like,
guys for
comment,
getting involved.
subscribe, engage,
Follow.
share.
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 Listen.
Thank you
On
guys.
Spotify.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.